Kate Warne, you see the bull market continuing after a pause. So how long is this pause going to be, and how strong is the bull going to be when he comes back?
Well, essentially, investors think we've been in a pause for quite a while, and we looked back over the last 18 months because if you just draw at the stock price chart for the S&P 500, it sort of looks like it's flat for about 18 months. Turns out it's actually up in a total return sense on an annualized basis 3.5%. So it's a little better than a pause. But the good news is we looked at historical times when we've had similar types of pauses, and over the next year, stocks are up 18% on average. Now, obviously that doesn't happen every time, but we think it really says most of the time when the market sort of pauses, it uses that time to gather strength, and then what you get is a stronger bull market. Now, we think it's going to go back to being more in single-digit returns, so not a whole lot more, but it says stocks are going to grind higher. That's good news. The bull market continues, and I think that's really been a concern for investors recently.
Well, one stock that you like is United Technologies. Now, UTX is up around 12% so far this year. That's double what the S&P has done. Now, they beat in the second quarter on the top and bottom lines. They also raised the lower end of their guidance. This is a cyclical stock, so I guess the cycle is going to go on a little bit longer.
Yes, we think the cycle will go on a bit longer, and in particular, United Technologies is relatively global, and we like the fact that we're seeing signs of slightly stronger growth in the rest of the world, and that as the US dollar becomes flatter, the earnings they're making in the rest of the world translate into more dollars. That should actually help their earnings growth, which is really what the market's been lacking as something to give it a catalyst to move higher. So we like United Technology. We think they have a diversified business, and they'll continue to show signs of operating cost improvement, which will help them raise earnings.
And you're also bullish on Lowe's. They're up around 6% so far this year. So talk about housing, because in the spring, people were talking about oil, we were talking about currencies. We haven't been talking too much about housing. How does it look?
Well, housing continues to be strong. Part of it is the very low interest rates, which has given us very low mortgage rates. And we continue to see new home sales. We continue to see existing home sales. And they're not yet back to highs that we reached before the financial crisis, but we continue to see that good progress as people buy new homes, and especially as we continue to see low interest rates. We think that we'll continue to see people buy more homes. That's always good news for companies like Lowe's. And the home improvement industry is one of the few where they're not facing a lot of competition from online retailers. Some things, yes, but overall, you tend to go out and buy that stuff at the local retailer. That's part of why we like Lowe's.
All right, and then finally, you are a fan of Apple. They came out with earnings this week. They beat on the top and bottom lines. The stock popped, but there's still worries about China. Are you worried about their China sales?
Well, I would say there's a worry, but I think we'll continue to see growth in China. And I think people are underestimating what we could see as the benefit from the next cycle in the iPhone and from their other products like the Apple Watch, Apple Music, places where their brand loyalty and the fact that they deliver good products is going to continue to mean ongoing sales. Yes, at a lower rate, and I think that's already built into expectations, but this is a company that has showed that past times when we've worried about a slowdown in a particular area haven't proved to be the appropriate way to approach it. Better to buy it when it's down and take advantage of the next leg up.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Kate.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching The Street.